So now let's go to another use case we have always regarding Christmas concerning a brand which is called La Vie in French, and they are doing non-meat meat, so basically vegetable meat. Let me just show you the brand they have. Sorry, I'm just sharing my screen.
Hey, sorry, Florent, can you just go back? There's a question from Spirit, if you can show the tweak of the model again.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, oops, here. So you just click on the model, and you have here attributes, and you can tweak it here. It will be quite more easier to see next week, but here it's where you tweak. The aim also, I will show you afterwards with objects, but it's also the thing with people. You would put here characteristics. So is it good like that, Spirit? So here, you click on the model, you arrive on the model picker, and you click on the attributes, and you can fill whatever you want. I guess. Okay. So,
okay. We can answer at the end also the questions that we didn't answer.
So this is, I'm not seeing, sorry, I'm showing again. So here, you go here, attributes, and then you can write whatever you want. Red, green. So you do write the positive attributes and the negative one. Okay, so let's go to the other use case, which is La Vie, which is a food brand, actually. We're going to talk twice today. And as you see, they rely a lot on illustrations and on very specific illustrations that are very recognizable, actually. And if you are French, or if you come to French and you see their ads, they're quite recognizable thanks to the colors, but thanks also to the way they created the different illustrations. So the same way we created a style for Henu, we would come, in Pimento, and we would create a new model based on illustrations from La Vie. So again, once you just click here on new model. You can also have here a quick action, which is build your own model. You just need then to select style because we want to focus on the style. You just drop some images. So here I'm gonna drop a few images I found online, actually on La Vie. So these are the illustrations I've put. I saw the question, and yes, these images have to be squared because AI is thinking squared. So if you have very landscape or portrait images, you may need to recrop them before to really focus on the main part of your image. Then we call it La Vie. La Vie. Here you would choose 2D illustration because it's definitely a 2D illustration. We would train it and we would wait again a few minutes. As I, of course, did it before, I trained this model, so exactly the same picture as I showed you before. And let's create a new project based on this model. So here I just clicked on new project, and as you can see, La Vie is always already selected here. So I'm working in a new project that I can actually call La Vie illustrations for Christmas. Again, for Spirit, if I click here, I have my attributes, and I could here add some details about the fact that I want them to be like vectors, or that I want to have like a lot of pink, or that I want to avoid some details. And actually, let's prompt, and let's try to prompt illustration of Santa Claus having a Christmas dinner. So again, my first generation will be a bit longer as we are storing a private model and a safe one for La Vie. And here I have a few illustrations of the Santa Claus. Some are quite close. So illustrations are quite hard with AI. Some are quite close. Some are less close than what we may expect. So let me show you here that you have an option which is a model intensity. So the model intensity corresponds to how much you want your initial images to be taken into account. So for example, let me put a very high model intensity and generate with the same prompt. Actually, I'm doing the same thing with a lower intensity so we can compare and see what the difference is. So as you can see here, with a high intensity, the image is worse because we're taking too much into account the initial images. Plus, it does look really like one of the initial pictures. So if I show you again here, those two ones, I can show you, sorry, in high quality here. So it's taking a lot the influence of the first the initial pictures. On the other side, when I did a lower intensity, we lost a bit the style of the model. We were further, if you look at the hands, for example, if you look at the type of face, they are further from these pictures than further from the style, sorry, than these pictures. So let's put back 50%. Let's try again a Santa Claus having a Christmas dinner. And actually, let me show you another feature we have, which enables you to have better images by adding details. So here I click, so I have my prompt, which is illustration of Santa Claus having a Christmas dinner. Here I'm clicking on Enhance Prompt. I just click on Enhance with Details. It will improve a lot here my description of image, making much more details, which can have two effects. One is being very creative, very on style, and giving me very good ideas. The other one, as it's AI and it doesn't know exactly what we want to do, it may create some weird stuff that I don't want to get. Actually, that's pretty good concerning my illustrations. And let's take that picture, for example, and show you how we can correct it. So it's not good because it put here a turkey, actually. So as Lavi is doing some ham and some pork meat, some fake pork meat, let's actually try to replace this turkey by a big sandwich. So I can here, so I click on the image, I clicked on fill. I'm still having Lavi model. I want some high creativity because I want everything. So here I have a creativity parameter, which can be low, medium, or high. As you can see here, the opacity of the mask is changing. If I'm using a low creativity, that means that the picture won't change that much. So I can add a few details on the turkey. I could change the color, I could change its shape, but it'll still look like a turkey on a salad. If I go to medium, I can make a bit of more change. And if I go to high, basically I will reproduce everything. So I take high here and I want to replace by a ham sandwich. This can be a very tricky one because it's a very small part of the image, its illustration. So we were taking some risk here and we were pushing AI to its limits, maybe. So here you can see on the history all the images that are generated. And actually it worked. So here, as you can see, we used to have a turkey and now we have kind of a ham sandwich with ham and salad directly on the table. You have each time 4 variants. So here it's more like a burger, but it's still on style. Here it's still generating this. Okay, this is not really ham. This is burger. This is full ham actually, and this is a sandwich. So out of 4, we have this one, which we really do like. Another way to change this picture is changing the prompt directly. So here we have an enhanced prompt, which is pretty long actually. We could go through it and find where the turkey is. We can also click on enhance prompt and click on edit with AI. And I can ask Pimento to replace the turkey by a ham sandwich. When I click on update prompt, the whole prompt will be analyzed and the turkey should be replaced by a ham sandwich. So I won't pay too much attention to this prompt. Let's just regenerate the picture. So now we have a different image, but we have lots of ham on the table. You can see also that there are lots of flowers here. So let's try to go here, on attributes and to exclude flowers, because flowers were actually a lot into the initial images and they're part of the branding, but maybe they're a bit too much here. So let's try to exclude them. Okay, the table is neater now, so I managed to remove a bit the flowers. And I see a question in the chat. So here, when you're in the edit, you have two modes, brush and lasso. So here I'm using the brush to select, and I can also have a brush size here to be like more precise. But there is also a lasso one, which enables you, just to select a zone, which may be quicker depending on what you're trying to select as a mask.
And maybe, Florent, you can show how to use image reference as well, because Spirit asked about it. If you go to prompt enhancer and you upload the reference.
I think Spirit was more about in the editor to use reference image. So there are two ways. So I'm going to show you something here. Actually, let's go on Google and let's look for Santa Claus. So I'm just like going on Google, just showing it you. And here taking this Santa Claus looks nice actually. Let's save it. Here, go back on Pimento and let me show you a new option that I haven't shown you yet, which is prompt from image. So now we're going to use the image I just downloaded as a reference. Oops. So basically what it will do is we're going to take this image, we're going to describe it to generate a prompt. So now we have the full description, and now we're using the model Lavi to regenerate the picture. The aim is to give some guidance somehow to the model. Okay, so it's not an illustration at all. I should have here. So let's see, actually, let's edit prompt and make it an illustration. Because I put a photo and he described it as a photo. So I just edited with AI and asked it to be an illustration. Actually, what I should do to avoid this also maybe is to come here, to go to attributes, so this one, sorry, and to say always illustration, because I really want it to be an illustration. And so here I got more illustration. So here the style is a bit lost. So what I would do is increase a bit my model intensity, because when describing the image, it added a few details that are not very linked to my initial style. So I can always, again, look at my prompt and see if I see some very weird things that shouldn't be in my prompt. So here I could iterate again to get closer to my style and to get this this Santa Claus. So here what you see is what, so we have this one, and we had actually this one at first, So it's quite close. It's quite far actually, but we could also use it as a transfer, as I showed you for Henu before with the Christmas tree. So we could also do the same thing with as we did with the Christmas tree with this with this Santa Claus, sorry, to do a style transfer. Are there other questions, sorry, before we switch to object training, because I wanted to show you like 3D and illustrations. I see someone is writing. Okay, the style transfer actually will take into account the shapes of the image. So it will basically, I can show you, I'm not sure it will work here, but let me actually try to show you. This transfer really takes into account the shapes of the image. So it tries to reproduce all the shapes, the main lines, the main lines of the image. The one I showed you here with prompt from an image is more about having a broader inspiration. So it's more about describing the image and trying to put it into the style. So that's why here we have kind of the same composition. So the results are not good because I should play a bit with the parameters to make it work good and also to work on the style. But you see that it's always the same composition, basically, always the same colors. You always have something very similar. Whereas there, it was like more creative, but closer to the style. And you have a question, Spirit. They've had the interview. Yes, definitely. You can go back and forth. So here I can remove, here I have my attributes. I can remove them, for example, if I just want to do photos. So for example, if you're in a phase where you thinking about, let's say, Valentine's Day, and you want everything to be red and pink, then you can put pink and red in your attributes, and it will always stay like this, and all your prompts will have pink and red attributes. And then you're thinking about summer, so you would use the same model and change the attributes and say, okay, now I want it yellow with sun, so that you can definitely fine tune your model along the way. Okay,